Good morning from the Premier Inn London Heathrow Terminal 2 and 3. It's Tuesday morning. It is just coming up on 6:15. Had my breakfast and it's now time to book an Uber. I make my way over to Terminal 3 to check in for my American Airlines service across to Phoenix this morning. Due to leave at 9:05, arriving at 13:05, something like that. So I think that puts it around 10 hours. It looks like American Airlines operate a Boeing 777 on this route, which probably means it is the 200 variant. I last flew one of these aircraft with American Airlines to Dallas from London back in 2019. So anyway, come and join me as I make my way across to Phoenix on board American Airlines in premium economy. Hi, I'm Graham and this is my wife Fiona, and we have always had a work hard, play hard philosophy. From London to New York and of course the Caribbean, we live our dream through travel. And of course, the odd cocktail. And here on YouTube, we create our memories while living our dream. So come and join us as we share our memories with you. As I left my room at the Premier Inn T2 and 3 at London Heathrow, I reflected on how good this product is. The Premier Inn isn't the Ritz and it's probably not even the Hilton, but you know what guys, they offer a very consistent product. I accept that the rooms are fairly basic, but what else do you need other than a warm shower and a great comfortable bed? Both things that the Premier Inn deliver in spades. And you have to remember that I only booked this hotel at about 10:30 a.m. on the morning that I stayed at the hotel. The cost of a basic but comfortable room, breakfast and dinner the night before was only something like £94. Just like the rooms, the food is all pretty standard fare, and I would challenge anyone who couldn't find anything on the menu that they wouldn't eat. This particular Premier Inn, which is the T2 and T3 Premier Inn on Bath Road in Hounslow, was truly enormous. It even had a Costa coffee, which I used the night before, just after dinner. And despite the hotel being at near capacity, it certainly didn't feel overcrowded. The staff still did a great job at providing excellent service. So as I headed out to the cold January morning to meet my Uber across to Heathrow Terminal 3, I was left extremely impressed with another excellent night at the Premier Inn. As my Uber dropped me off just outside the departures area of Heathrow Terminal 3, as I make my way into the terminal, I want to tell you what happened because I didn't film it. Despite travelling on American Airlines this morning, I was recommended to go to the British Airways check-in counter area because after all, it was British Airways that issued my boarding pass for this morning's flight. And it was also British Airways that I booked this journey with, from Glasgow to Phoenix via London Heathrow. But when I got to the British Airways check-in counter, it was then that I found out that the boarding pass that British Airways had issued me yesterday for this morning's flight from Heathrow across to Phoenix wasn't valid. However, I've always said that the British Airways staff here at London Heathrow are excellent, and this morning was no different. The really awesome British Airways check-in agent personally escorted me round to the American Airlines check-in area, and while it took more than 30 minutes and several telephone calls between American Airlines and British Airways, despite actually booking me on this flight this morning, BA seemed to reluctantly agree to pay for the ticket for my journey across to Phoenix. So with security very quiet at T3 this morning, I was actually through in pretty record time. Now, the one thing that American Airlines are really good at, and that is their communication. This morning I was constantly receiving emails on where to go and check in, and frequent updates on the process of my departure, including the gate number. This is something that American Airlines have been doing for years, and I have to say, they blow their competition out of the water when it comes to customer communication. And here is the American Airlines Boeing 777-200 that will be taking me across to Phoenix this morning. And it was around the time the gate was being prepared to open that I realised how quiet the service was going to be this morning. If memory serves me right, I think the ground service agents were talking about 64 or 67 people on board this massive wide-bodied aircraft. And like all airlines that I've experienced over the last couple of years, American Airlines are no different. They operate a priority-based boarding system based on boarding groups 1 through 7. Travelling in premium economy, I was in boarding group 4. And with less than 100 passengers travelling on this 777 service to Phoenix this morning, boarding was completed in no time at all. And in the premium economy cabin, I counted 7 passengers, including myself. So with such a quiet flight across the pond this morning, I was looking forward to what I hoped would be some excellent service from the onboard American Airlines crew. I know, guys, I am allowed to dream. It very quickly became clear to me that we were taxiing to runway 09 right here at London Heathrow Airport, and that meant we would be departing in the direction of the city. However, it did look a bit overcast and I doubted I would be getting any great footage from this departure this morning. And sitting at my window seat, I enjoyed watching the departures ahead of us on runway 09 right this morning, including all of the aircraft waiting to depart. And for me, this Air Canada 737-8 MAX was a rare sight at London Heathrow. These are typically inter-European and North American domestic route aircraft, so I can only assume that Air Canada are using the 8 MAX to connect London Heathrow with Halifax, Nova Scotia, or St John's in Newfoundland. And here we are about to undertake, or is it overtake, the king of aircraft today, of course, the Airbus A380. This one in the livery of Emirates Airlines, so it won't take a brain surgeon to work out that this aircraft is Dubai bound. So our journey to Phoenix this morning would take us northwest out of London, heading towards Wales, before crossing the Irish Sea and the Republic of Ireland, and then over the Atlantic to the south of Iceland, crossing over the southern tip of Greenland, and then arriving over northern Canada in the direction of Hudson Bay, before heading south across the frozen Canadian tundra in the direction of the US border, and crossing into the United States near to Minneapolis-St. Paul's, the Twin Cities, and then south across the American prairies towards Nevada and then Arizona. All in all, this flight was scheduled to take a little over 10 hours. Remember, guys, that this flight departed at 9:05 in the morning. Unlike all other airlines that have crossed the pond in over the last couple of years, in premium economy, American Airlines didn't serve a pre-departure beverage. We did get a drink and some pretzels just after departures, followed by lunch. And to be quite honest, the lunch was pretty awful. There were 2 options, prawns and rice, but I'm allergic to prawns. And the only other option was vegetarian mac and cheese. And in my opinion, this is food you would serve a 2-year-old, and not somebody who's paid nearly $2,000 for a return flight across the pond. However, I will compliment American Airlines on the caramel shortcake. It was rather excellent. And as we made our way across the North Atlantic at 36,000 feet, it was clear we were taking a more northerly route, and we would be crossing the frozen wilderness of Greenland. And somewhere over Canada, the crew appeared from wherever they were hiding and delivered us all this chocolate ice cream. And just under 2 hours out of Phoenix, a snack was also delivered. All 7 passengers in premium economy were offered a salad. To be honest, it looked pretty terrible, so they gave me the economy meal instead, which was this cold sandwich. You know guys, this aircraft was crewed for over 300 passengers. There was less than 100 on board. So the cabin crew on this service between London and Phoenix had an opportunity to shine. The bottom line is they didn't. They were missing in action most of the journey across the pond, and when they did appear, they were pretty robotic and unengaging. The premium economy seats on this American 777 were also not that comfortable, so I was really glad when my 10 hours were nearly up on board American Airlines and we were descending towards Phoenix Sky Harbour Airport. Yep, thanks for choosing American Airlines, as if I had any choice. I suppose on the positive side, I had finally arrived in sunny Phoenix, even if it was nearly a day late, thanks to British Airways and their policy of cancelling domestic flights where possible. Right guys, welcome to Scottsdale in Arizona, and the end of this episode. Trip aboard American Airlines on board their 777 service in premium economy from London Heathrow to Phoenix here in Arizona. How would I sum up American Airlines? Yeah, probably out of all of the airlines that I've crossed the pond in the last year, they've been my least favourite. It was a pretty plastic product, plastic crew. Cabin crew weren't very engaging, which is the one thing I do remember the last time I made a trip across the pond on American Airlines. And yeah, it's something that I think that airline is going to have to take a real hard look at. You know, Delta were great, Virgin were good, British Airways have been okay when you actually can fly with them. And that's something else. My trip back was cancelled. It's now rebooked for Sunday, and I will be therefore reviewing the British Airways Premium Economy product on the way back to London from here in Phoenix on board their Airbus A350-1000. So guys, that's the end of this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I am thinking about doing a comparison review of Delta, BA, Virgin and American in their premium economy cabin crossing the pond, so maybe that's something for a later video. So from here in Scottsdale, Arizona, thank you very much for watching. See you in the next episode. That's a wrap.